An investor received $1,100 in 1 year in return for an investment of $1,000 now, and we're asked to calculate the percentage return per annum with semi-annual compounding. This comes from the Hull textbook. So in exchange for an investment of $1,000 now at time 0, we are told that after 1 year, the investor will receive $1,100. So we have an initial value, which I will denote as IV of $1,000. We have a final value, which I will denote as FV of $1,100. And we have a number of compounding periods per year, a number of compounding periods per year, a number of compounding periods per year, which we will denote as M. And in this case, it's going to be 2 because it's a semi-annual compounding. And what we need to do is to calculate the percentage return. The percentage return per annum. Let's call it R, and this is our unknown. Is that which we need to find out. So let's try to find our way to calculating this unknown. And what we know is that the growth of our principal, our initial value after 1 period would be initial value times 1 plus R over the number of compounding periods per year. This is what happens after 1 period. And after 2 periods, we will have the initial value times 1 plus R over M times 1 plus R over M, which we can also rewrite as IV times 1 plus R over M to the power of 2. And if we generalize for M periods, we have that the initial value has to be multiplied by 1 plus R over M to the power of M. And since we need to find out the return rate per period, our R, our unknown, we will need to solve for R. And remember, we know that this expression is equal to our final value, and we need to solve for R. So why don't we find the formula to solve for R? So let's say that the first thing that we can do is to divide both sides by IV from the initial value. So these two will cancel out. And we're left with 1 plus R over M to the power of N equal to final value over initial value. And then since we want to isolate for R, we still need to do some manipulation. Why don't we multiply the exponent by 1 over M? So we raise this guy to the power of 1 over M. These two will cancel out, and we will be left with 1 plus R over M, which is going to be equal to final value over initial value to the power of 1 over M. And the last thing we can do is to subtract 1 from both sides so that these two guys cancel out, so that we have R over M being equal to final value over initial value to the power of 1 over M minus 1. And our last act will be to multiply both sides by M. so that we finally have a formula to solve for r, and that will be our final value over the initial value to the power of 1 over m minus 1 times m. Now let's try to plug in some numbers. So we are told that the final value is $1,100, that the initial value is $1,000, and we also know that our m is semi, so the compounding is semi-annual, so 1 over 2 minus 1 times 2. And I'll let you do the calculation, and this will give us the rate of return with semi-annual compounding.